purpose of this video is to show that there is a certain number code in the Torah that the sages knew about and the Kabbalists clearly knew about as well. But I've never seen it written down anywhere, this methodology. It's something that I came across a few years ago and now have found examples that kind of demonstrate to me that they either knew what was up or it's just further confirmation of their opinions. Years ago, I noticed that there's a connection often between the number value or gematria of a word or name or even phrase or verse and the number of times it shows up in the text. So the gematria and the statistic. And in all these cases, I'm just searching the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, the thing that started it all. And here you have the word ruach, which is spirit, wind, breath, and it has the value 214, and as you can see, the word just happens to show up in the text exactly 214 times. In all these other examples, I'm going to show that there are links between the names of the righteous in the Torah, as you'll see here, Moses or Moshe, Mem Shin He, you can find exactly 616 times in the Torah. His father-in-law is Jethro, which is the Torah portion where we get the 10 Commandments, or we get the actual Torah. His name has the number value 616. So Moses, his name, or the form of his name, exists 616 times in the Torah. We get the Torah in Parashat Yishro, which is the portion named after Jethro, his father-in-law, and HaTorah happens to also have the value 616. So Moses exists in HaTorah 616 times. Then when you look at how many times the word the Torah, HaTorah, exists in the Torah, it's 26 times. 26 is the value of the name of God, Hashem. But it goes even further than that. Check this out. Noah, here's Noah here, has the value 58. And it exists in the Torah 37 times. 37 is the value of Chavo, or Abel, as in Cain and Abel. And you can find Abel 7 times. Both of these numbers are related to each other. So Noah is related to Abel, which is 37. And we know that 7 is related to Noah, as in the 7 laws of Noah. Now, check this out. What is the reasoning of one who says that the children of Noah, or the descendants of Noah, sacrificed peace offerings? And these are Gentiles. As it is written, in Abel he also brought of the firstborn of his flock, and the fat thereof. Abel, like all Gentiles, is categorized as a descendant of Noah. And it continues. They show up many times together. The Holy One, blessed be He, showed Abraham the altar with a finger. He said to him, this is the altar on which the first man sacrificed. This is the altar on which Cain and Abel sacrificed. This is the altar on which Noah and his sons sacrificed. You can see that they're in the same sources together many times. Bilam said to Balak, build 7 altars for me here. Why 7 altars? They correspond to the 7 righteous ones from Adam to Moses, who built 7 altars and had been accepted. Adam, Abel, Noah, Abraham, who will come up later. There's Moses. We know he's part of this. The Holy One demands satisfaction for the blood of the pursued at the hands of the pursuers. Abel was pursued by Cain, and the Holy One chose Abel. Noah was pursued by his generation, and the Holy One chose Noah. And then here, days of yore, like the days of Noah, as it is said, for this to me is like the waters of Noah, and years of old like the years of Abel, when there was no worship of idols in the world. Now, this is the cherry on top. We saw Abraham come up a couple of times there. He has the value 248, which is the value of the positive commandments in the Torah. But his name shows up 116 times. Check this out. We already saw that Noah's name is 58. So Noah is 116. So see here, 116 is the number of times Abraham shows up in the text. And then you can actually find Noah's name repeated in succession in Genesis 6:9. Now you might be thinking, oh, you're stretching it. Not so. Check this out. There were 10 generations from Adam to Noah, another 10 from Noah to Abraham, and so on. But here it is. Everyone whose name is repeated in immediate succession experiences life in both worlds, as in Noah and Abraham, whose name also is repeated in succession. Now, and we saw Moses is also connected to HaTorah through this exact same code. Now, does anybody want to take a guess as to whether Jacob and Samuel and Perez are a part of this? We'll have to wait and see.